Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nisa Fitri Alifa. So in this video, I would like to present a summary of part 3 data from Dalet Degrees book and introduction to second language research method, design and data. This part of the book explain 4 main tools we can use to collect the data in research. First is questionnaire, the second is interview, the third is observation, and last is diaries and journals. Each tool has a different purpose and help you understand language learning in different ways. So in my poster, I will explain what each tool is, how it works, and why it's useful. So let's start with a short explanation of what data collection instruments are.
You can see the poster. I want to explain about what are data collection instruments. In research, we need tools to collect information. These tools are called data collection instruments, and they are used to help us answer research questions. The 4 main types covered in this book are questionnaire, interview, observation, and diaries or journals. Now, what makes an instrument good? I have 2 things. First is validity, and the second is reliability. Validity is does it measure what it's supposed to measure, and reliability does it give consistent result when used again. If there is not existing instrument for your topic, you can create your own. But before using in your real study, you must try it out in a pilot study, like a test run to catch problems and make improvement. Finally, a strong research instrument is not just the tool itself. You must clearly describe first its purpose, second is how it was developed, and the third is how it will be used and how the data will be analyzed. Next to the chapter 7, and the title is Data from Questionnaire. Okay, questionnaire is a written list of questions that participants answer. It's often used in second language research for things like need analysis, testing opinion, or evaluating language program. There are 3 types of question. First is demographic, like title of the questionnaire version date, name of respondent, date of administration, and gender and age. Second is close-ended, like true-false item or multiple choice, ranking items, and Likert scala. And then questionnaire be clearly and formatted. And the last is open-ended, like where people write their own answer or personal opinion, like fill in the blank and short answer item. Close questions are easier to analyze statistically. For example, we might count how many people agree or strong agree with a statement. Open-ended questions require a deeper analysis. We look for the themes in what the people say. But we must also make sure our questionnaire is valid and reliable. First is validity, means the question actual measure what we want to know. Second is reliability, means participant would give similar answer if they took it again. We can improve this in questionnaire. The first is piloting the questionnaire on a small group first, and then revising confusing item, and then using item correlation to test internal consistency. So questionnaire are very efficient for gathering large amount of data, but we must design and test them carefully. Next, chapter 8 is data from interview. An interview is a conversation with a participant designed to gather detailed information. It's a powerful tool for understanding feelings, beliefs, and or motivation. There are 3 main types of interview. First is structure. A structure is where every participant get the same set of question. And the second is semi-structure, where you follow a guide but also ask follow-up question. And the last is unstructured, is more like a natural conversation. The interview process include first recording the conversation, second is transcribing the text, next coding, like looking for repeated ideas, and the last is grouping code into the teams. Of course, interview have challenges. First, like a participant might not express themselves clearly, and then researcher might lead the conversation or introduce bias. So how do we improve validity? Use member checking, let participant confirm your interpretation. The second is use triangulation, like compare interview data with other success searches, and then invite other researcher to check your coding, like a peer review. Interview give use a rich deep data, but they take time and skill to analyze well. Next chapter is chapter 9, data from observation. Data for observation is a research method where you collect data by watching people's action, often in a classroom. It's a way to see what the people actually do, not just what they say they do. There are several types. First is participant, like you are involved in the activity, and the second is non-participant, like you are only watching. For example, is you watching in the classroom, and then the third is open, like you watch without specific categories, and the last is closed. You follow a checklist or guide. Observation data can be have two data. First is data qualitative and then quantitative. Qualitative is detailed notes or description of behavior, and then quantitative is counting how often certain behavior occur. So, to gather observation data, we can use first is file notes, and then the coding sheets, and then video and audio recordings. And then to make sure our data is trustworthy, we first is try and observe first, repeat observation, and then use interpreter reliability, like a more than one observer to check for consistency. Okay, the final section in the chapter 10, like data from diaries and journal. Data diaries and journal is there are personal written reflection made by the teacher or student, like essay, and then they help us understand internal thoughts, feelings, and experiences over time. There are three types. First is teacher journals, like teachers reflect on their lesson or student. And then the second is learner diaries, like student reflect on their learning. And the third is dialogue journals, like teacher and student write back and forth. Okay, what makes journal useful in research? First is they show what people think, feel, and experience from the inside. And the second is they give long-term personal perspective. And then how do we analyze them? First is identify the themes that appear in the writing, and then use a narrative analysis to understand stories or development, and then the connect findings to the theory. So the last is to validate journal data. And first is compare with other data, like triangulation, and then ask peers to check your interpretation. And then the last is look for consistency over time. In the conclusion, part 3 of the book teach use for main tools to the collect research data. The first is questionnaire, like for collecting large scale data quickly, and then interview for deep personal information, and then observation, like for watching real behavior, and then diaries or journal, like for reflective personal insight. Each tool has a strength and weakness, but when we use more than one, we get a better data. This is called a triangulation, and it makes our research more valid, more reliable, and more complete. That's all for me. Thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.